We need to go now to that breaking news that we brought you earlier in the show. We know now that there was a stabbing at a synagogue in Manchester. It's believed at least 4 people were injured. We've just found out that the UK Prime Minister Kier Starmer will be flying back to the UK from Copenhagen earlier than expected in response to these attacks. We've now got a statement in from the UK Prime Minister. He says, "I'm appalled by the attack at the synagogue, the fact that this has taken place on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, makes it all the more horrific. My thoughts are with the loved ones of all those affected, and my thanks go out to the emergency services." Let's bring in News Corp correspondent Sophie Elsworth now. She joins us live from London. Sophie, what is the latest? What do we know about this attack?
Well, look, this is obviously a shocking attack, Danica, that's just broken over here in the UK. It's alleged that a driver ploughed through a crowd of people and stabbed a security guard outside this synagogue in Manchester. So as we can see from the pictures, there's plenty of police and emergency services on the scene, and a lot of people in shock given this is the holiest day on the Jewish calendar. Now, we have heard from the Prime Minister Kier Starmer. As you mentioned, he's flying back from Copenhagen early to deal with this situation that is developing. And it's incredibly concerning, Danica, because similar to Australia, there has been a rise in anti-Semitism in the United Kingdom. So there's a lot of very distressed people learning of this news now, and we await to hear further details. But we know that 4 people are injured, and we have that one security guard who has been stabbed.
Look, it's frightening, and we're just getting some live pictures in, as we can see on our screen now. You can see a lot of Jewish members, I assume, of the synagogue out there speaking to emergency services, trying to piece together here exactly what's happened. You can imagine that these roads will be closed for some time as an investigation takes place. Look, Sophie, what more do we know particularly about this area in Manchester? Do we know if it's got a high Jewish population? What more can you tell us?
So it was interesting, Danica, because the Manchester Mayor, Andy Burnham, has just come out on radio. He was doing a live interview on radio when the news broke of this. Now, he says the area has been cleared. Obviously, it has a large Jewish community because they have synagogues in the region. But he has said that the site has been cordoned off. He's urged people to stay away from this area, given that investigations are ongoing. As we can see there's a chopper flying overhead and a large amount of police on the scene now. So this story will develop very quickly. We've only just learned about it in the last short while, but incredibly concerning here in the United Kingdom. And Danica, it does come at a very critical time here. Obviously, the October 7 attacks, the second anniversary, is only a few days away. And not forgetting that British Prime Minister Kier Starmer also just recognised Palestinian statehood here in the UK. So there's a lot of issues in relation to this stance by the UK government in terms of dealing with the issues in the Israel-Gaza war. So a very distressing situation, and one that we will learn more of as information comes to light.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. A bomb disposal truck has just arrived at the scene. Now, the Greater Manchester Mayor says that the suspect is believed to be dead. We're waiting for official confirmation from police, but Andy Burnham says it's believed that the offender is deceased. That is what I mean in saying that a degree of reassurance can be given that this is certainly not a developing incident. So I guess that's, some reassurance for locals there. But look, it's interesting, Sophie, you mentioned, of course, Kier Starmer and other world leaders have just recognised Palestine. We've seen a rise in anti-Semitic attacks, not just in the UK, around the world, here in Australia. And this is just yet another example.
Well, Danica, just on the back of that information that's come to light that the alleged offender is deceased, that's obviously just coming through, so we'll have to wait for that to be verified. And obviously, and incredible amount of concern here in the UK. I've spoken to many people in the Jewish community here in my time in the UK, Jewish residents who say they don't feel safe in the UK. It's got a very, it's become very distressing for a lot of Jewish communities here in the UK. They're saying that the rise of anti-Semitism is on the incline. And as we also heard, opposition leader Kemi Badenoch also came out short time ago and condemned this attack because she's been obviously very outspoken on the rise of anti-Semitism. But yes, the issue here, Danica, is fever pitch. And as particularly this is on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, particularly because we have October 7, the anniversary next week. There's still hostages in Gaza. We've got a government that's just recognised Palestinian statehood. So there's a lot of moving parts here, but incredibly distressing to learn of this attack just on a Thursday morning, Danica, in Manchester, in a quiet part of Manchester, and this has taken place.
Oh, look, it's a shocking situation. Sophie Elsworth, really appreciate you joining us. Thank you, and we'll touch base with you soon.